Hey everyone, it's Krista here, and I wanted to go on and just show you a quick share of some cards I made. I needed to make a lot of cards, and I just wanted to show you kind of what I was able to do because I'm not a card maker at all, but I needed to whip up 100 cards quickly. So I just wanted to show you some simple ways that some things that I used in simple, I guess, approaches to make these cards. So I did use the Christmas Salutation by Echo Park, and they've got a lot of 4x4 and 3x4 cards in here, and 4x6, and then like their stickers and stuff all is around just Christmas sentiments. So they're very easy to make cards. I did go through these paper pack. I did get a 6x6 paper pack, and I did go through it. Now, I did not use a lot of the big ones, but I was able to make still a lot of cards. See, as you can see, they're not like extravagant, but they're very basic. They're very simple cards. I used, and see, some of these I didn't even use, like some of them are just flat backs, because again, these cards are just for my it's for, you know, something that I'm participating in this project. So like, look, I was just knocking these cards out because they already were ready to go. I did use a stamp for that. Some of these I just popped up on some those like 3D squares, like these little squares here. I was able to pop some of them up there, and then I use my Jaded Blossom die. I will pull it out at the end, but it is a die that cuts all three of these out, and then you're able to like easily square them up. And the die also cuts out these little kind of like banner things, so I use those as well. And I'll show you a little bit, but look at all these. I was able to make a ton, and some of these you literally just cut it down, throw it on there, and these are all A2 card sizes. Some, like, they're very basic. I added some shimmer here and some little stickle dots to kind of make it shine, but honestly, if you just need a whole bunch, this is definitely one way to do it. Okay, so I don't know how many cards these are, but they're a lot for just that small amount of 6x6 paper pad and a little bit of 12x12. So the second, kind of thinking about the Echo Park, I did use this first Noel, and this is all I have left over. And when I say that Jaded Blossom, so you get these little pieces and it cuts out these little pieces like right here, but then it also cuts out, here, I'll show you when I get there. So this was another fun die that I used, and it just cut all of them together, and I used it multiple times so I could basically make multiple cards with it. And it all turned out cute. This was just one of the 3x4 cards. These are just little pieces of paper that I had extras, and I just put it, like this I kind of did like that, what do they call that? I don't even know, like where you kind of go light color and then you go darker, and that's what I had done with that one. Here's another card. These are just scraps that I'm using. And then, yeah. So, like, these came out really good, and they came out really quick, and I didn't have, like, I think I got all of these cards done within one day. One day, and when I say one day for me, because I have a 4-year-old, I do not have all the time in the world just to be sitting here. I want to say I maybe spent 3 hours on these, 4 hours on these, if that. Yeah. So those are all the cards that I made from one 6x6 paper pad from Echo Park. The other cards that I made, I had purchased these, and I thought these were so cute, but I'm like, these are huge. How am I going to use these? They're from Michael's. How am I going to use these on a layout? But some of these, you know, I could make on a layout. I could use them on a layout. I just don't know how I would use them. They're going to be really big, and then I use these as well. So I got it, but I saved half of them for me, and then I used half. Then I also got in my stash and I pulled out last year's Michael's paper pads. And these paper pads also had, I don't know if I already passed it. I probably did, but they also had some cut aparts. So I used those cut aparts for this as well. Let me see here. So what I had done, yeah, they're not even in here. I had just taken a lot of these. Sorry, didn't mean to bump the camera. And then I also used this one because I loved it and I thought it would go perfect. See, with these baking and gingerbread and like just the tones. Look at that. It went so well together. So I thought, why not? I'll use this one. This one's from last year. This year's paper pads are okay, but they're just not so great. But they're like more of these like warmer tones. But I was able to pull out, see how they have these tags. I did pull those out and use those. And if they had, this one was from last year, Peace and Joy. I did pull out some of their cards. I think I used something from there, but I know I used, where is it at? I'm trying to find it so I can show y'all what I used, because I know a lot of people like this. But this paper, I did use a lot of this paper here. You know, I just pulled from here what I thought I could use, and I used it. And, you know, I just cut up a whole bunch of, maybe I used all of the 3x4s, but let me get the cards. So first of all, what I did was, like, I just cut up, I took all of those, I picked out a whole bunch of paper that I wanted, and then I literally just cut the papers in half. So like I sized them out. Here, this is not a good one. I would like sit here and I would measure this out, and I'd measure them all out, and I would make some that were just solid backgrounds like this, or I would cut them one, I think 3x4, and the other one might have been like a 2x4, whatever it was. I don't remember the exact, but then I would just kind of mix them up and try to make and coordinate them to make a card. This I did use some of Close to My Heart's little shimmer trim and put it behind it, just kind of just jazzed up. This I used a scrap to just kind of break that up and put that up though. But so these are literally those big ephemera tags. See, as you can see, just the papers were combined. And I thought these turned out so cute because it was so easy. I'm literally, this actually came from last year's sticker book that went with this, so I put that in there with that little piece. But these are so huge that, I mean, I don't even know how you would use them on a scrapbook page, but for cards, you can just knock these out. These are just some stamps that I have, and I mean, look, it's so adorable. I love it. I keep on hitting this, and I'm so sorry, and then I just typed in my sentiment in here. And, you know, I love it. Like, so sweet. I mean, are they the most beautiful cards ever? No, but they're still so cute, and they're functional. And you know what? People are going to probably appreciate it because I did take the time to hand make it. Look at that. So sweet. And this I kind of just use like as a, you know, in between, because this kind of needs something. But as you can, like I told you, I just went through these and I just knocked them out because I did not have time to make a whole bunch. Now, here is the tags that I made. So, I mean, these with that paper. So this is just paper, not the embellishments I had just used to make. I used this Close to My Heart stamp. Isn't that so stinking cute? But it was one of their cards from that paper pack. Another card from the paper pack. I added some little twine to that, some gold twine. This is a stamp from Close to My Heart that I added to these little tags. I mean, it just all turned out so sweet. And I think they're sweet just because I know I didn't spend a whole bunch of time making them, but it's literally just cutting up some cut aparts that you have in these big old pads, or using big embellishments that, you know, you can get from Michael's. throwing them on some paper. You can either, you know, keep it blank, or you can use that, like a die, to help you out. Let me pull the die out real quick. So here, I'm back. You may or may not like this look, and that's okay, but I wanted to show this to you. So this is what I did for this die. So this is the Card Layer 2 die by Jaded Blossom, and you run this through. And what I would do is I would pick, you know, the papers that I wanted to use for my card, my cards, because you make plenty, and then you would just die it, you know, run it through, and make sure you do it at an angle where it's gonna be, you know, if this, like, because this one has a scenery that has a certain direction, and this one as well, you have to make sure you do it where that actually cuts out right, because, you know, sometimes on double-sided papers, the other side may be different. So just make sure you do it the correct way. But then I would just sit there and just spread them all out and line them up, so that way I can start mixing them and making them so that they can kind of see what coordinates, and then just start placing them on my card. So, you know, I'd be like, okay, this looks good, and, you know, nope, that doesn't look good, so maybe I'll go with this, or, you know, hey, I'll go with that instead. Whatever, however you want to do it, then you would, you know, put it together, and I would stick it aside. And then after I did that, I would go back, or if I had the cut aparts already next to me, I would think, okay, what would go on top of that? Nothing has to go on top of it, but I think a little something could add to it. Now this die, I don't even know, I think I got this die from, I don't even want to say, because I'm not even for sure. I believe I got this die from AliExpress, maybe not. I don't really remember. If I find where I got this, I'll link it. But this die is really cute. So I did the same thing. I used like 6 maybe pieces of paper. Well, I picked all the papers that I wanted, and then I would keep the base, because it cuts out the base, and then these little triangles, I would do 2 of each. So I would do 4 at a time. So maybe I did 8, but I would do 4 at a time. So then I would have 1, 2, 3, 4 different, and then I just did that. And because this is in the center, I did find a little, you know, 2x2 or whatever size this is, and put this in the middle to kind of cover this space up. You don't have to, but it's nice. And sometimes when you put foam dots and pop that up, it looks really, really good. So I hope this is helpful to you guys, just to be able to make some cards real quick if you need them, and not stress about it, because, you know, it's not so much about how pretty it is, it's just that you took the time to make it. But yeah, I hope you like this. If you have any questions about what I use, feel free to send me a message and I will answer it. Thank you, and thank you for watching. If you did like this video, give me that thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber yet, please do subscribe. I do appreciate all of my subscribers, and I hope you guys just have a wonderful, wonderful day.